Welcome tech lovers, Ibrar here. Today I am going to cover run application in Docker. This is the part 18 of Docker 0 to Hero series. DevOps in Action channel is more focused on DevOps in easy way. You always found complexity and simplicity here. Each video guide is available in video's description. Here will be only action as channel name is DevOps in Action. So let's jump to the live without any delay. In today's video, my plan is to cover basic understanding before creating Dockerfile. This is the very important and this will be very helpful in Dockerfile creation. That's the reason I am making this video. So here you can see this is just getting started. Let's say considering if you have a Python code, you can use any your code like Nginx, Node, Next.js and other code as well. So in method 1 I am going to cover traditional way to run Python application. So this is the very simple thing. Maybe you are doing on daily basis and I want to convert in the Dockerfile, right? So we are planning for Dockerfile, but before that we want to see what is this and how to do that. The second one is the method 2 for interactive Python. This is the again very important thing to debug how to create Dockerfile. So do not skip it, and this must require for debugging purpose. The method third and fourth one is just for your development purpose. Let's say when you become expert, in that case you can just start any container without Dockerfile, but again this is time consuming. And my purpose is to showing you that without making a Dockerfile, without building the Docker image, how you can run your application with the Docker container. So this is the plain text, plain one where is no installation and your code will be running, and this is the with requirement or with the installation, right? So let's jump to the lab and see in the action. Okay, so on my YouTube channel, open the link of GitHub, go in the Docker 0 to Hero series and in the day 18. And here you can see I clearly mentioned that this is the basic requirement, basic understanding, right? Temporary container for fast and testing and development. So let me show you how we run code first. So let me open the terminal. Okay, so here I am going to make a folder. Yeah, it is not there. Day 18 and cd day 18. Okay, here I am going to create one app.py. This is a very simple application. And I want to run this app.py, right? So simply run this like Python. What happened here? Okay, okay, there is one SCI character. You can see Python is running on the port 8000. So let's connect and see 1.210 and 8000 port. Here you can see we created a traditional way to run application. You can see the log is thrown here. This is a very simple and traditional way. Similar, we can run Node.js, Next, and any other application, even PHP as well, Laravel as well. But this is just beginning, where we understanding what is the traditional way and how we go to container using our application. In this consideration, I am using Python file. So this is a very simple file, right? So let's jump to the method 2. Here, this is the traditional way to run the Python, but again I am going to use method 2. This is the very important things. You must always this method 2 for debugging your container. Let's say if you are facing issue to creating Docker file or Docker container, in that case you must use this code. So here this is the simple run command and putting the name debug, and volume mounting is pwd. It means my current this directory here, and there is one app.py and pointing in /app in the container, and setting working directory as /app, and publishing 8000 port because my code is running on the 8000 port and using Python 3.8. and instead of running the Python, I am landing on the bin base for debug purpose. So let's do this. Okay, here you can see my container is running, so I am going to in this container, so using exe command, and see I am in the working directory path where we set here, right? And you can see here one code is app.py. Now we can do the same thing, Python app.py, and it does the same thing which we saw in the method 1, but this is the debug method. Again you can see the code is same, right? And log you can see here, when I clicked on multiple times, logs continuously getting generated. And one more thing here I want to add, that let's say if you want to install or you want to make a Docker file of any application, it can be Laravel, it can be PHP, it can be Node.js, Next.js, whatever. In that case, if you are not aware about the which command is best and which command is work, in that case you start with the debugging mode and finalize how it works and note down the all command and create Dockerfile. We will use it mostly in the upcoming session, right? So I am going to close this one and stop this container. Okay, container removed. And this is the method 3. In this debug method we started bin base and after that started python app.py, but here we want to run directly py instead of debugging. So this is the directly run application in your container without debugging, without installing any package. This is the basic example if your application doesn't require any installation. So you can see here it is running, right? And once you click here, let me show the log dls debug. Once you click here multiple time, you can see log continuously generating, right? It means application is working fine. Let me remove this one. This is the very simple thing. If your application doesn't require any kind of installation, you can directly run with the debug without creating Dockerfile. It's again the debug options, but very simple things. Let's say if your application requires some installation, this is a complex application. So I'm going to create a requirement.txt and there is Flask requirement, right? And after that create application and copy and paste the application. Again here this is the port on 8001. So we need to understand it, and we are going to test this is with the two different method. First method is we are using the same but landing here on the bin base and install application manually to debug the application, right? Now our application is running, so go in the application, test py and cd app. You can see here application is there, right? Now I want to install application. Simply pip install -r and passing the requirement file. The application is installed. Now I want to run the application, right? This is the debug method. So you can see here on the 8001 it's running. You can see here it's not 8001, yeah, hello from Flask inside Docker. So it is working fine. You can see here the log. This is the debug method but manual way. Similar, let me exit this one and drm test py, and I want to not run with the manual way, but I want to install application and run it in the single command. In that case you can pass like bash -c and install your application requirement and put and after that run the Python app. If you have multiple files, in that case you can create a shell script and put these in the shell script, just bash -c and pass the shell script there. This is the very simple things to run any application without creating Dockerfile, without making a Docker image. This is just for debugging purpose. This is not good fit for dev, QA and production. This is just you can test from your own. You can see here and dls test py. In the logs you can see here what it does. It download and install our applications and after that it started the server. You can see here server is up and running. So there are multiple way you can debug and use your code in Docker container. This is the very important things to understand how to debug your application once it is not working in the Docker image during the container during the Dockerfile image creation. So this is the very important. That's the reason I covered this day 18 series. Otherwise I want to skip it. And Dockerfile, the next our upcoming video is on the Dockerfile. So what is a Dockerfile? Dockerfile is a recipe to create Docker image for dev, QA, UAT and production. It is a very simple thing. We will see in the upcoming video. And it contains the instruction to build image. A Docker file is plain text file. So this is a very simple thing. Just you want to play, nothing else, right? So similarly, we will create first Docker file in the upcoming session, and you can connect with me here. That's it for this demo. And let me know what you guys think. If you have any question, leave a comment. Thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead. See you in the next video.